I guess for me, the more living foods that I ate, the more my health, my vitality came back. The whites of my eyes became so clear. I was able to pass all this toxic waste. I mean,
Yeah.
33 days into a juice cleanse, and I'm still passing waste. So these are methods that help to purify the body. And in turn, the gifts that you receive after this, they're tremendous. I mean, I can't even, the way that my life transformed, even just looking at old pictures of myself to who I was before and who I am today, the goals that I set and that I accomplished, every single one of them, it's a beautiful process. And I truly believe that live foods, they're not just physically healing. This is emotional, physical, spiritual healing. And this is why we are so passionate about sharing on this topic, and yeah. How do you think it affected you, Grace?
The whole path for me is about freedom from any material desire that we may long for so desperately. Like, food is comfort, food is materialism. It fills something within us, same with sex, all of it. It's trying to reach outward for some pleasure and joy and like momentary bliss, when the truth is that bliss feeling is what we are. Like, that is the essence of our soul.
Yeah.
That's how we should feel all the time, you know?
Yeah, I feel that it's like tapping into heart consciousness, right? And
I
for
agree.
me, like my heart totally opened. I wasn't an animal person before.
Me neither.
I grew up
We grew up without.
Yeah, my mom, I come from a big Mexican family, and the cats were kept outside, so was the dog. So for me, it was like that was just normal, right? But after going raw, oh my gosh, I have 7 cats, and they're like my children.
It's like we know their personalities.
Oh, yeah,
and I feel like before going raw, I never knew a cat's personality. Like, I could never look at a cat and be like, oh, like, and think, like, see it like a soul,
They're
But since going raw, like, even the trees have a soul. You know what I mean? Like, everything is, you can just see consciousness and feel consciousness way more.
Moving out of the mental body and into the heart space. I think that's probably the biggest gift from all of this. And when you're living from your heart space, beautiful things happen. Synchronicities happen.
It's true.
The people you meet, the people you attract, everything in your life changes.
Alignment.
And you're put into a completely different timeline. And I do, like Grace and I were talking about this in the car the other day. We can't even like grasp like how unconscious we were before.
Yeah. Before I went raw, I kind of always felt really anxious and really nervous all the time, is the main emotion that I had. Anxious, nervous, almost like an animal about to go to slaughter.
Oh gosh.
Is how I felt all the time.
That could have been.
And that's what I was eating all day. Animals that went to slaughter. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Right.
Like, I relaxed, even before going raw, when I was vegan, I relaxed a lot more and I became way more joyful.
Oh yeah.
Life became lighter.
And Grace, she lived with me for most of her life. And then when she was a teenager, she chose to live with her dad. So that was fine. It was great.
She lived by the beach.
Yeah,
so
she got to go live by the beach. She wanted to experience high school, and she had been, homeschooled / unschooled. So this was her choice, and I think it was good because she got to experience these things.
But I also ate too many California burritos and drank too much Red Bull.
And she got really sick. So the progression, when Grace got back home and living with me, she went plant-based
immediately, probably first week in the house.
And she did that for a while. And then from
like
there,
6 months, right?
Yeah,
or 8 months.
yeah.
But the whole time I was plant-based, it was like I was slowly going raw. Like, every day I was getting more and more raw. And then at a certain point, like in the next year, like probably 6 months after, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go fully raw. And I remember I told everyone, I told all my friends, and they were like, all my friends in high school, and they were like, okay, like, we'll see how long that lasts, like, whatever, Grace. And then they'd be like, that's weird.
And that's another, that's a
normal.
whole,
I don't blame them.
Yeah, it's just, there's going to be some misunderstanding there. Your frequency changes so much that you're not necessarily going to resonate with the same people anymore.
It's just like you exist in 2 different realities, and at a certain point, they can't coincide anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you are living in different timelines, and those timelines aren't going like this, like they're going like that.
They're splitting right
They're
now,
splitting.
and you can see that
Yeah.
with just the two paths that
Yeah.
society's going down.
Yeah.
And I think in the Hopi prophecy, they said that during this time, many people, they would either advance spiritually or they would lose their minds. And I see this, with friends, with family, with people that are, living
Yeah.
really dysfunctional lives
Yeah.
versus people that are, accomplishing their wildest dreams. And even online, I mean, people that are making content, they're able to make, $100,000 a month, whereas maybe they had only made, 4 or 3, in the past.
Exactly.
So once you kind of start, working on the inner self, right? Going within, because your inner self is, or your outer reality, I should put it this way.
Yeah.
Your outer reality is just a projection of your inner reality. So once you cleanse the body and you have a clean temple, right? We're able to, and not to sound like too woo-woo, but we are able to hold, not that I sound like that, we're able to tap into more cosmic energy and hold on to that cosmic energy.
That's the magical thing, is you start to realize that the physical is not just the physical. It is like the physical really determines what's going on outside of you.
Absolutely.
And then this gives you like a sense of control over your life. Like, I always used to feel like things just happen to me. I've got no control. Like, I gained all this weight. I have no, like, I can't fix it.
Like, things just happen by accident.
And bad things happen, and there's nothing you can do about it, and you gotta accept it, and you gotta just pay for therapy. When you get on this path, it's like, no.
Every thought, every word that you
matters.
speak is creating your reality.
And all the programming, like, they're trying to program us to speak negative. Like,
the
all
English
the songs,
language,
like, trying to get us to sing out loud. Like, the popular music is like basically negative affirmations,
right?
Right. And everyone singing this, they're gonna create that reality.
And just by stepping into a lighter diet, going on to living foods, that's changing all of our, I mean, for me, like, patterns, behaviors, the neural pathways in the brain. You're rewiring everything, because suddenly you're driving, like, we live way outside of the city, right? We don't like to be in the electro smog, because it does really affect us. When you drive
into it, I'm like, oh.
We can feel it. But when you go into the city, right, you're not just going into the city to go grab a burger or like drop your vibe even more. Like, now you're conscious of, oh, I don't think I want to go there. And, I don't think I want to buy those clothes. And I don't think I want to support any of these people, because they're corporate entities that are sucking the life force out of us, quite literally. So these neural pathways start changing, and then you start with this whole, releasing everything that's not you. So we come into this world so perfect, so innocent, so beautiful, and then life starts to happen to us, and we pick up the programs of our parents and our siblings,
even in the Disney movies.
And all the programming and those, subliminal messages and all of these things that are coming in. So really, it's about, like, removing all of those programs that aren't us, and coming back to that innocence, that purity, that beauty, and
what we really are.
Absolutely. Really are. It's such a beautiful journey. So this is why we share on these topics so much, and and just meant to inspire. I think that's the only way to do this, right? It's really about inspiration.
The wonderful thing about my mom is she never forced her views on me, basically. Like, extremely non-coercive. You were. Sorry, I sound like
I am. No.
You were extremely non-coercive.
Non-coercive parenting.
But that's why I, like, wanted...
You can't force anything on anybody. You can lead by example, and you can carry the frequency, and that alone is just, that's why when we're around people who are negative, they bring us down. If you're trying to achieve success, then get around successful people, people who are actually doing it. Don't tell your plans to your aunts and uncles and your friends and family, because secretly, I mean, gosh, look at my own family. We don't get invited to holidays during the pandemic.
I don't either now that I started hanging out with her.
No, well, you've always hung out with me, silly, but now that you're taking on more of this lifestyle,
that I live here,
yeah, and I know that to people in that state of, like in Matrix vibes, and I hate to say it that way, but we look like we're batshit, like we look crazy.
Oh.
so it's also letting go
funny.
of those ties and being okay with it. I've always been the
like,
black sheep. Yeah, I don't care. It's okay to be misunderstood. I'm here to connect with my soul tribe.
Yeah.
That's it. And I have found that. And, my husband, Gracie, we have, a handful of friends. It's crazy because, all of the raw vegans, right? We're kind of scattered. We're not all just in one location.
Yeah.
So even here in San Diego, we don't have a lot of friends that are on this path. I think we went off on a few little tangents there, but I would say, if you're considering this way of life, just be ready for like the deepest transformation.
Yeah,
right?
Be ready to see the dark side of yourself that you've been repressing for years.
It's gonna come out.
It's gonna come out.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna be like, oh my god.
And then it's walking.
Who am I? Yeah.
Walking through the shadow, because you cannot even access that highest timeline without the shadow.
No.
So it's a gift.
Because the darkness is just the light pretending to be darkness.
Right.
Like
it's the portal to the light.
Yeah. There is nothing but light and love.
Yeah.
At all.
I agree.
There's illusions of darkness. Even the matrix we live in, it's an illusion of darkness. But in reality, in our souls, anytime we can just like tap in and feel the bliss of existence anytime. And that's the truth of who we are.
Yeah, connect with the heart space.
Yeah.
I always try to make sure that I'm speaking from my heart space.
Yeah.
Especially,
let me try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially when we're like speaking online, right? I'm not trying to come from here. I'm trying to come from here because I really want to share this message with you guys and hopefully inspire you to better yourselves and so that we can create heaven on earth, because heaven on earth starts within. We're really going through a change right now in this collective energy, and we're all waking up to all the subliminal programs, the toxic food, all the control mechanisms, and how it's been so it's so planned, it's so strategic, like the way that all of this is just kind of pushed on us, right? Where people aren't even conscious of the fact that the meat they're getting at the grocery store is, this is coming from tortured animals. And not just tortured animals that are being fed genetically modified foods, they're getting injections.
They're sick.
Yeah. So even for some people, the first step is just switching from those type of foods to, to cleaner versions, right? Or raising their own animals to eat. And, that I don't identify with that, but for some people, that's just the first step, right? So just taking that leap and getting all this toxic processed food that, this processed food, it's
been designed like as a poison for us, as a sedative to keep us like
numb,
asleep in the dream.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized that, then all of this health, live foods, it becomes much deeper. Like it gains a new meaning.
Right.
And when I started to experience these realizations, I was just like mind blown. And it can be too much for people. And I think that that's the main reason why friends, family, they shun you, is because it's too much for them to realize this. They don't want to know. They just don't want to know. They don't want to see you knowing.
It would shatter their reality. Yeah. So ultimately,
And that's the thing, is like, they're just not there yet.
No,
it's okay.
That's why it's a personal journey, and you can only lead by example and be your happy self.
And it's great because their path will end in love and light. Because they are a part of the universal consciousness. So there's no need to worry about them. There's no need to try and like save somebody. And at
the point we're at in this whole timeline and trajectory, if you haven't woke up yet, it's most likely that you might not at this point. I mean, I would hope to say that there's, absolutely hope for everybody, but at this point, it's not about trying to do that. It's really about going within and you know, that's where change begins. Change begins from within.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's this has been like a crazy beautiful process.
I know.
And you know, yeah, I think we can
end it there.
End it there.
Bye guys.